Frankly speaking, selling your XRP is a definitely terrible idea, but don't take it from me. You see, there are humans like Chris Larsson and Brad Garlinghouse. Humans which might be CEOs or in founding positions on the company, which can be going to be explaining to you men why keeping it right now is probably the great thing you will ever do for yourself and your complete economic adventure to your whole existence. So with that, during thoughts, I'm going to be displaying you guys a few clips from Chris Larsson in which he spoke these days, and additionally Brad Garlinghouse, due to the fact they both had a few genuinely exquisite things to say which are sure to alternate your thoughts on likely loads of factors concerning the XRP surroundings. So hit that like button so each person sees the video and permits get into it. Now, we are going to begin without any apart from Chris Larsson, who changed into recently speak me on the XRPL, stablecoins and lots more. Because his vision for all of these products is honestly insane, and you guys are going to examine a lot from what he has to say right here. So I want you men to concentrate very carefully. You understand Ripple does not require you to ever use XRP, even in exchange. I mean, the cool element here is that each person in the international, now the usage of Ripple can position a bid ask on whatever price from any issuer. So as an instance, any individual can determine, you realize I'm going to make a market among United Airline miles at once you know how my miles are on rise up. I am hoping they will be out someday. It's a resilient, real, you may cross it once, you do not really need to undergo XRP. However, what we trust will show up is that most market makers in filling out the world of changing fee from whatever about you may currency, service provider, praise factors, airline miles, gold, silver, anything you define as cost maximum. Human beings, surely most market makers will use XRP because there's a forex without a counterparty. It's far a completely specific issue within the protocol. Just like Bitcoin is absolutely particular. So once more, our view of why math-based totally currencies are so treasured isn't always that they update current currencies. It's simply that they have got a completely specific characteristic in that they've no counterparty. So the complete global, the sector handies has to think about one thing when it comes to Bitcoin and Ripple, is the rate in any microsecond in time. You by no means must consider the counterparty risk. Turns out that could be an absolutely specific aspect it's in no way existed before. So why is that vital? Let's say we use the example of a farmer in Nepal trying to buy farming gadget from a provider in Kenya, let's say. If you didn't have the mathematics-based currency, even internet for value, you would possibly must cross Nepalese rapide to Indian rapide, Indian rapide to British pounds to Kenyan shilling. That's a number of hops, right? And you're going to lose an excellent amount of money on each hop. You lose value on each hop, right? Because you are regarding currencies with counterparties, things of fee with counter birthday party. Better to move Nepalese rapid to XRP through a marketplace maker. And then there is a few different market maker that has made a market between Kenyan shilling and XRP. Now, Nepal and Kenya are one hop away. You without a doubt one hop far away from airline miles. And the whole thing is one hop away. That's why a math-based totally foreign money we assume is actually unique and sincerely has value. And this is an extremely good factor, and I assume something that most people do not truly apprehend, specifically in the international commercial enterprise, and someone like myself is starting to do business on a global scale with human beings all the world over. Many cryptocurrencies, XRP especially, does make that plenty more simplistic. I suggest the method for me to transfer, you understand, the Canadian dollar over to the euro, over to even the United States greenback, despite the fact that those nations do a crap ton of trade, remains very tedious and hard compared to just sending XRP as an alternate of value. And that is precisely why the whole Internet of Value is such an important concept. And Chris Larsson does speak a little bit greater at the Internet of Value, especially due to the fact that it is a totally center component as to what will be defining the destiny of crypto and Ripple specifically. So a number of it got here from type of the early work you guys did with pathfinding, and once more, having this something of fee can be traded, that kind of was the germ of it. However, type of stepping way back in case you examine the actual hassle and the worse. In the world today, you know lots of human beings. Point to globalization as being, you already know, no longer running for human beings, and we would say no, it is no longer that it's now not working. It is just that it's a work in development, right? It's incomplete. So we kind of have a real globalization which is interoperability in three middle matters: proper, data, items, delivery, and money. And the problem is it only has interoperability in information, manifestly the internet, and shipping since the 50s with the delivery field, which creates interoperability among port to other port, ship to teach to truck. Have that with cash. Money networks do not interoperate. And when you have that, now billions of people will start onboarded right into a real operating kind of gadget of globalization. And it's upon us. I assume that it truly is really what we're seeking to construct here. Billions, guys, billions with a B. I suggest the sector populace is what, like 100,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 proper now. So yeah, it is obviously a pretty crazy prospect to be thinking about. And that is really big. This is definitely how large the imaginative and prescient of the Ripple group does pass. And I'm going to reveal you guys some loopy recent trends that Brad Garlinghouse did speak approximately very quickly. But earlier than I try this, I need to ask all of you guys to sign on and create an account on a Margex, because if you men all do that, not best are you going to get some. Incredible depositing and trading bonuses, $100 only for buying and selling and depositing. But you may also be entered into my XRP trading event, which now has a $15,000 prize pool, and all you purchase to do is alternate something cryptocurrency you want. And right now there are some quite killer opportunities to alternate a pair one-of-a-kind cryptocurrencies. Number one, I do suppose that Bitcoin is absolutely excellent quick right now. This is ethereum. If you examine the stochastic RSI daily charts, they may be each severely overbought proper now, and I do suppose that they are going to see an enormous correction quite quickly. So in case you do open up a short function, the use of my link, no longer simplest, will you probably win XRP for doing that if you are buying and selling continuously. However, you're additionally going to get high quality sign-up bonuses. But with that being stated, permits get into Brad Garlinghouse, men, due to the fact nicely he lately did an interview and he mentioned some quite cool stuff. Brad Garlinghouse said as follows: human beings will want to hold yen stablecoins, and nicely that is a marketplace that they're trying to tap into, okay? China is the second largest financial system in the world, and the amount of Chinese enterprise human beings which might be now seeking out a cryptocurrency-based totally stablecoin is massive. And nicely, Brad and of Path, the relaxation of the Ripple crew, is looking at tapping into this marketplace that nicely no longer very many humans have tapped into. Concentrate up. The UK and behind Switzerland. So plenty of international locations are Maine, and Japan has been in many methods won. That's not to say they haven't been conservative approximately the law, however I assume that may be virtually helpful as long as there's clean regulations of the street. Entrepreneurs will work inside them. So if you're imagining a strong coin in Japan, what is the time frame? Well, I think right now Ripple especially is focused on let's get live with the US greenback stablecoin. But I suppose there will be humans who will want to preserve yen stablecoins, and I assume it's most effective at depend of time. And I think the regulators right here in Japan, once more about a year ago, passed a few regulation around that. And there's a few organizations going through the licensing process right now to get stay. A lot of the companies which might be worried on this area in Japan are large groups. Is that form of a problem now, not having the smaller progressive men take the lead? I suppose what you're seeing is a number of the bigger men partnering with the smaller, innovative corporations. Ripple way lower back in 2016 partnered with SBI, one among the largest and maximum success banking conglomerates right here, and truly throughout quite a few economic offerings here in Japan. And it really has been a truly successful partnership for us and for them. So we feel it makes experience for whilst you enter some of those markets to accomplish with a number of the larger guys. And that is true in Korea, that's actual in Japan. Depending on what market you cross into, we try to figure out what is the quality manner to go into. Especially right here in Japan, we have mentioned law being a chunk more clean, but additionally the government has been very energetic in putting those regulations. At the equal time, we're headed toward a presidential election for the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Do you have any views at the capacity that this market ought to trade? Well, certainly even as I've been here in Japan, I've met with regulators, I've met with the FSA, I've met with elected representatives. And what I've heard always is a preference to lean into these technology. I think that the environment here from a macro